And now broadcasting live from the Darkroom Studio at Craven Community College, it's In the Know.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to In the Know. I'm Craig Ramey.
Good morning, Megan Johnson.
Hey, Megan Johnson. How are you doing?
Hi, Craig Ramey. How are you?
Why does it feel weird to say my name sometimes?
I don't know.
Because it's not something I normally do, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't introduce myself on a regular basis, except for here every week on this podcast.
Yes, right here at the Darkroom Studio.
Darkroom Studio on
Public
Craven
Radio
Community
East.
College. Yes.
We're just like throwing it all in there like a soup pot today, aren't we?
Is it Soup Pot Day?
No.
Okay, that's okay. But yes, so this is
Not soup pot day.
This is the podcast where we get in here and we just cut up, have a little bit of fun.
Show what's going on in the area.
We do. We'll
stay happy.
We try to stay happy.
I like to stay happy.
That's my goal every day, is to try and be
Try to
happy.
stay happy.
Yes. Yeah. So we come in here. We'll have guests from our community come in and talk. Mm-hmm. We'll have people from the college come and talk. Today we've got a little bit of both. We'll be talking about CTE, which is Career Technology Education. Mm-hmm. Right. So before we get to our guests, we also want to thank our folks over in the booth helping us.
That's
today,
right.
Yeah.
I see Rasheem and Zanetta are in there. Good morning, y'all.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
How's it going?
Doing good.
Zanetta keeps us on track, makes us look good.
Does she?
She does.
She pops in at the top of the show and says hi, and then just lets us run off the rails for the next 30 minutes. So.
And as we dig our bunny holes.
That's right.
We're
yeah.
going down the bunny holes. So you want to share a little bit about our guests, and then we'll come back to them later?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Oh, you already did. Gosh, I'm sorry.
I did, but that's okay.
That's all right. I'm just,
We're all
my
over the
rabbit
place.
hole.
Yes, yes.
Bounce right out.
But no, I mean, it's a great opportunity that we'll be talking
Yes.
about, particularly in our high schools where students are able to take pathways that help them learn technical careers as well as health careers. So there'll be a lot to talk about today on that. I don't know if you've got a special thing for the day, but I know it's Leap Day.
It is.
Which is pretty
it's
exciting.
Leap Day. Yeah.
Right?
Only once every 4 years.
This might be our only time ever doing this show on a Leap Day. Maybe ever, right?
I mean, we haven't had one yet.
Well,
You're saying we'll be extinct in 4 years?
We do the show on Thursdays. What is this? Every 4 years you get a magical extra day.
Isn't he pleasant? And it's kind of in brand with our colors. Well, I mean, we're missing the green eye. But anyway.
Yeah, but I love the mustache. If I'd known that we were able to have that mustache today, I would have done it. I had that mustache a few weeks ago.
You did.
Yeah.
At the bar, at that shower you went to.
Yeah. It was
clever.
Those mustaches are a lot of work.
Mustaches.
It's a mustache. It's a lot of work to keep up with.
Mustaches. Okay, so what do you know about leap year?
You jump around.
Jump.
No.
That was the 90s.
Yeah, you get your seat and jump around. Jump around. Yeah.
Jump.
No, I don't know a whole lot about Leap Day. I know that it happens every 4 years. I never know when it's coming. And then
those that have birthdays on this day, what are they called?
Leap babies?
Leaplings.
Leaplings.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of cool, isn't it? A leapling.
Do you think they self-identify as a leapling? Do you think they want to go and tell people that they're a leapling?
I saw it.
Did a scientist call them that, or do they go around and they're like, you know what I am?
I'm a leapling.
I'm a leapling.
Yeah, so like people celebrating their 60th birthday are really 15.
Yes.
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah,
if I did the math correctly. Speaking of math.
Yeah, you don't get your license till you're in the retirement home, I guess.
Well, speaking of math, though, you've got to be like a mathematician to kind of understand the whole process of why we have it. Like how many rotations around the sun the Earth has going around the sun is 365.2421 days. Mm-hmm. So that's why.
Those are all Mondays, the 2.5.
2.2421.
I got you, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Again, almost like in a quarter. And it's actually not even a full day. So we're kind of graced with a little extra. Mm-hmm. So it started back the early Egyptians, and then the Romans kind of played with it, and then Julius Caesar worked with an astronomer, and then in 1582 Pope Gregory, he came in and he did his thing with it as well. So it's been kind of played with.
Yeah, well, because it's not an exact science. I'm guessing as we're all
it isn't exact science to somebody. That's
we're all
not
hurtling
us.
through space,
Yes.
revolving around rocks, and we're trying to make sense of it. That's what Leap Day is.
Yes, but then again, it says that it only it doesn't happen on years that are divisible by 100, but not 400. Again, that's way out of my league for math.
I'm glad that somebody has figured this out.
Way out of my league.
I guess I take it for granted that every year that when I need a calendar, it's just there.
It's just there to remind you.
I'm glad that people do it.
So, and more than anything, it's payday.
Oh, today is payday.
Today's payday.
Okay, yeah.
So that's a good thing too.
Do you get paid on leap years? You get paid for 4 years?
See, they could have dumped it on the 28th and made us all really
happy.
You
get a 4-year bonus? Is that how it works?
So, as it should have been, right? So, but I found out some really cool stuff about the traditions on Leap Day. Okay. So back in the 15th century, in Ireland, women were allowed to propose marriage to men. Of course, back then, that was not permissioned to do. Permissible. What's the word?
Permissible?
Permissible. Thank you. So, but that's only happens on Leap Day. So every 4 years, if she was in love with somebody, she could propose marriage and not get in trouble.
Not get in trouble.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But they say this is just lore. I mean, it's just, folklore. They can't find it written anywhere.
Yeah. She's just hanging around for 4 years, not asking anything, not dropping any hints.
What was the name of that? What was the name of that dance where the girls got
Sadie Hawkins.
Sadie Hawkins dance. So it's like a Sadie Hawkins every 4 years.
Yeah, they had one of those as a fundraiser at Newbern High School recently.
Oh.
The chorus did.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Yeah. Okay, another really cool tip. I thought it was it's not a tip. It's kind of an interesting event. So Christopher Columbus, back in 1504, knew on Leap Day that there was also going to be a lunar eclipse. So he convinced the natives to continue to provide supplies to his stranded expedition. Aware of this upcoming lunar eclipse, he told the chief that his god was angry and would take away the moon as punishment, and then he had proof of his anger. Sneaky little guy.
It is. It's not the best use of science,
No,
I wouldn't say.
it was sneaky.
No. Okay.
But he got what he wanted.
Okay.
So.
Well, there's not a lunar eclipse today, right?
So
we're all okay.
But it is National Toast Day.
Okay.
So if you are watching us live now, share. Oh, that's some fun looking toast up there. Share how you like your toast. I like my toast like double toasted and butter. Do you?
I mean, not super, so if I'm looking at the chart here of toast, I'm going to say that the top right is right out. I'm not going to do that one at all. The lower left is probably where I want to be, although I am interested in the lower middle.
I like the lattice. Lattice is kind of cool
Seems
looking.
like it's a surprise in every bite.
Yeah. A crunch, no crunch. Crunch, no
That's
crunch.
right, yes.
So, yeah. So if you make a comment how you like your toast, if you are a Leapling, happy birthday.
Yes. For those who are watching us live or later, please do comment if you are a Leapling and how you like your toast. Yes, yes.
Toast.
You just like to say toast.
I like toast.
Okay, that's
and
fair.
permissible, since I couldn't get it out
Those
earlier.
are the words of the day. And toast is permissible on Leap Day.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
All right, we got enough nonsense out of our system.
We got enough mess. Yes.
talk
Let's
serious.
find out let's find out how our guests like their toast.
Okay. Well, let's jump right into it.
Yes.
Right. So, as I said before, we have Jennifer Davis with us. Your official title is CTE Coordinator.
Coordinator, yes.
For Craven County Schools.
Yes.
Yes. And then, of course, we have Ricky Meadows with us, who is our Dean of Career Programs here at Craven Community College. So, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning. Did you get your toast this morning?
No toast.
Did
No
not
toast.
eat toast this morning.
No bread at all?
No.
But I have a Leapling to wish happy birthday to,
Okay, let's
if I
hear it.
can.
Yes, please.
So my next door neighbor, Annette, is a Leapling, which I didn't know, and I don't know if she knows, so I'm going to need to tell her after today that
That's
she's
the
officially a
terminology?
Leapling.
She can be
but her
whatever
birthday
she
is
wants.
today, so happy birthday, Annette.
Happy birthday, Annette.
Happy birthday, Annette. That's awesome.
I wonder if they have special Leapling birthday cards. They've got to, right?
I don't know.
That would not be real
It's not
profitable
It
for
not-
Hallmark.
wouldn't.
No, yeah,
Doesn't make sense from the
over
marketing perspective.
No.
You would
No.
never reuse them. Well, it would be several more years before
Yeah.
you could reuse those
Yeah, well,
cards.
it's 4
so.
times the cost of a card. So
There
they
you
make
go.
their money on
So
the
we
back
make
end.
Our marketing students might need to take a look at that.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, very good.
So anyway, you're not here to talk about toast. You're not here to
But
talk
it was fun. I
Yes,
can
I'm
talk
so
about
glad.
toast.
Well, I'm sure it was someone who had a very strong knowledge of technical education who was able to invent a toaster
Probably.
and help us all
Probably.
enjoy
I don't know
toast.
who
And to
that
figure
was,
out the
but-
calendar.
Yeah,
Yes,
and the
and
math.
to
All
figure
of
out the
that.
calendar.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes. So for those who don't know, let's
Yes.
help people understand what is CTE, because we throw around acronyms and people don't always know what that means. So let's
Sure.
kind of give the broad view of what that means.
Sure. So for those who are, we'll say, probably my age, which is 51 and older, back when we were in high school, everything was vocational.
Mm-hmm.
So it was vocational education. You took vocational education classes.
Yes.
Vocational education was rebranded because it kind of gave the impression that either you were college bound or you were vocational. And I have a great story if there's time eventually today. I'll tell you that story, but if not. So career and technical education was born. So that is CTE. Career and technical education encompasses lots and lots of courses, things that you might think, oh, that's a science course. Well, it's not. It's a career and technical education course. So all students are eligible to take career and technical education. There are some in the CTE pathway that are AP courses. There are some honors courses. These are not just, and I say that lightly, but not just the vocational track courses where, if you're not going to college, then let's come take CTE.
Yes. No, I love that. And I love the broad offerings that we have now as well, right? Because the same for me and us when we were in high school. There weren't as many things to choose from. CTE didn't exist when we were in high school.
You had shop, business, and home ec.
That's it. That's exactly right. That's
pretty
what was
much what
available
we
at my
had.
high school as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's really great. And I'm guessing lots of our students are taking advantage of these classes as well, right?
Yes. I think last count, somebody will quote me on this somewhere, but we're right at 8,000 enrollments, give or take, for this year. Now, those are what we call duplicated enrollments. So we may have one student who's taking 2 or 3 career and technical education courses in the same school year. But yes, we have thousands of enrollments in those courses across all of our high schools. And then one of our early colleges also has engineering courses that are on the high school side. So.
And I would guess
Those are impressive numbers.
They really are. Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
And I would guess with the classes that you're offering, and because there's so many different ones, you have a lot of students who are able to find what they're into, right?
We do.
That's another opportunity that's not really been available to us when we were in high school as well. Is you kind of, if you went to the traditional track, you were kind of feeling your way around your freshman year.
Right.
I'll find what I like. And then let's
spending
hope
a lot
I
of
like
money.
it forever.
Spending a lot of money.
Yes.
Yes, that is true. And there are 16 career pathways that are recognized career pathways. So, and we have courses in most, not all, but we have courses in most of those career pathways. So students, actually under some new state legislation that is kind of going in pieces, and the implementation dates change a little bit. So I'm not sure exactly which school year that each part will be implemented, but under some new legislation, students need career plans for themselves at the end of 7th grade and at the end of 10th grade. So in Craven County schools, we use a program called Major Clarity. Students go into Major Clarity. They do career interest assessments to see what they like, what they're interested in, and then they build a schedule that includes the career and technical education courses, if that's an interest area that is represented in our CTE courses, but that includes those courses so that students can be introduced to what they think they're interested in. And as we always like to say in CTE, especially on the high school side, maybe not as much when they get to you, Ricky, but on the high school side, it's perfectly acceptable to figure out what you don't want to do.
Sure, yeah.
So we have CTE internships where students go and they do 120 hours of internship during a semester. You might have student interns here who would come here because they think they want a career in broadcasting, and they get here and they're like, oh, this is not at all what I thought it would be. So they mark that off their list. But by doing that in high school, they didn't go to college to be communications majors and get there and get into one of these courses, maybe not even until their sophomore year, and think, I didn't want to do this. I've made a mistake. Well, now maybe I'm not even at the right school for what I think that I want to do.
And Ricky, you find this with a lot of your students, is that while they're in school or training or working on that certificate, they're also gaining that skill to go get a job. And so they're earning income, and it's a lot of on-the-job training while they're in the process of continuing something that they found that they liked.
Exactly. A lot of our students will come in, and once we get the foundation there, we can get them a part-time job while they're in school. And like you said, they're getting that on-the-job training while they are in school.
And the networking as well.
Exactly.
So, and a lot of the instructors are still in the community working and able to direct the students and get them aligned.
Yeah, and that's what we talk about here. We talk to our students all the time about when they're in class, is that they have, we every day is a job interview pretty much.
Absolutely. Tell them the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just in life too, though, right? Like you should always be walking around in life like
no doubt
you're at a
that,
job interview.
Yes, exactly.
So 16, I'm not going to put you on the spot to get all of them, but can we throw out a couple of them and talk a little deeper on them?
We can, and if you have particular interest areas.
Well, you brought a prop, and we love a prop.
Yes.
So-
Yes.
Well, there's a story behind that.
Okay. Is that
well, you might have to tell the story, but
Well, you go ahead first.
well, welding is in our manufacturing pathway. So, and there are multiple courses that are in the manufacturing pathway, many of which are here. So, students will take. Well, they have options to take. Craven Community College comes into one of our high schools and teaches welding courses to the students who are there. Students can then complete their welding certificate. They can complete a pathway on our side and come on into community college and finish that pathway. They can end with a certificate. They can end with a diploma. But they can start on the welding side. So we have manufacturing. We have advanced manufacturing courses in the high schools, 2 of the high schools. So they can start advanced manufacturing. They can get industry recognized credentials that they get that they can then take into the workforce and say, hey, I know how to use a FANUC robot.
I don't know what that is.
Right. And I'm not sure I could tell you exactly what that is but our manufacturing teachers are happy to talk
But we have
about
a
it.
class for that.
Yes, that's right. We have a manufacturing robotics class. Yeah. So they take the first level, then they move into the manufacturing robotics, and then they're able to get an industry recognized credential they can take to maybe Bosch or Moen or any of our other local manufacturing. Craven County is rich with manufacturing opportunities for students. So that's part of how we choose sort of which pathways we have. Computer science is another one, and that's one that people don't so much think of as a CTE pathway, but it is. We offer Python programming at 2 of our high schools. We have what's turning into 3D modeling and animation. So there are great opportunities there. We have game art right now, which is, so pretty much anything that you can think of, as I tell people, that isn't visual art, because that's its own department, or music, because that's its own department. ROTC is its own department, and PE. But most of the others, anything that anybody would think of as electives, we have a course for that.
There you go.
Yeah, and I saw during the CTE Expo that you had at the convention center, that was a great visual
Yes.
of all the different things. There was probably some that weren't represented there too, but it was you filled the space with all the different opportunities.
Every year. And we appreciate our college partners, our business partners who come and do that. The CTE Expos for all of the 8th grade students in the county, which is right at 1,000.
Yeah.
So they come and they see what they can take in high school. They see what's offered here at Craven, and they see how that translates into the workforce for them, what they can do with that.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the health programs, because that falls under CTE as well.
It does.
And I know just in the building next to me in Havelock, they just started, I think it's the first CNA on our campus for the high schoolers from Havelock. Is that correct?
They did. We used to teach that at the high school level. So we had high school teachers, health science teachers, and we have transitioned that to the community college coming in and doing that for us. So students are taking that, and at Newbern. So both at Havelock High School and at Newbern High, students are able to get their CNA certifications while they're in high school. So they're getting high school credit on our side, but also getting that industry recognized credential. Many of them want to go into nursing or another health profession.
Gives them a jump start.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It gets their first credential. So they have something that they can hold and say, I am a CNA.
Ricky, what do you see in the students and the benefits for the student when they come to you?
Well, as Craig talked about, they get to explore. I mean, would I like to do welding? Would I like to do automotive? Maybe IT. There's a lot of different opportunities. And with the high school, we're able to allow those students to take a class or a couple of classes to kind of see what their interests are. And a prime example is if I get a kid come in here and who wants to, and we keep talking about welding because that's one of our most successful programs. In all 3 high schools, feeder programs, we're doing like 145 hours a week welding on campus this year, which is a lot, per semester. So, but these folks and they're also gaining confidence in what they do, because a lot of students, you may not be really good academically in the classroom, but there's something you can do and be good at. Something you want to do, something you like to do. Because when you get up every day and go to school, if it's something you really want to go to, you're going to give it 100%. That's right. What you're going to do, and that's I see that in the students a lot of times. It's really really cool to see that.
All right, what's the story behind the helmet?
Well, we were talking about the high schools, and when we started out at West Craven, I guess almost 9 years ago at the high school, we didn't really know how it was going to work, and it was kind of really slow in getting started. Then it finally took off. And then now, of course, our instructors going to Havelock High School teaching A class. And then we got into Havelock High School. So we're getting students from Havelock coming to the Havelock campus for welding, and now we're in New Bern High School, and so we've got about 30 students now coming in. But the cool part, these kids are coming in, getting a skill, and they're coming in after once they take a class. We have students who come in after school or night classes while they're in high school and continue their education, and it's just it's just really cool to see these students grow and how they mature and with a career, because I can tell you all kinds of success stories about some of the high school kids start with us and where they are now 7 or 8 years ago. Which is pretty cool.
Because these CTE programs also offer stackable opportunities, right? Just like we have here at Craven, if somebody's starting and they want to get a certificate and then work their way up to a diploma and a degree, same thing here, right?
Well, the cool part about our relationship with Craven County Schools and I'll use welding again, but is that we can do we do a welding 121 in the fall, a 131 in the spring, and then they'll come in the spring after hours, like a 4 o'clock start. They'll do a cutting class, which is welding 110. The summer they'll do a welding 115. Well, they have a certificate then. Well, the cool part is we're trying to place students who are juniors in that. So once they get their certificate in their junior year, their senior year they can take anything in a 2-year program. Which is really cool because. And a lot of our students were completing in December, completing fall semester, and they'll come to us full time in the spring as still high school students doing CCP for spring and summer, and the state pays for it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
and it's important to note that for all the things that we've been talking about today, I assume there's no cost to the student other than perhaps books or materials or something like that.
Supply costs.
Right. Supply costs. Yeah. Which is huge.
So it is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah. So that's great.
A win-win. But we talked about welding, but the other really cool things we do, we're doing criminal justice classes in all 3 high schools now. We're doing computer-aided drafting classes at New Bern High School, CAD class. We're doing business. We got 2 business classes, 2 computer classes. We're doing New Bern Christian Academy this year. So it's just a lot of opportunity for these high school kids. And the thing we want to do, we want to make them aware of what we do because it's really cool, and make the parents aware as well, because you can do this at no cost. You come in and explore a little bit, and maybe I'm thinking maybe want to do cosmetology. If that doesn't work out, maybe I want to do early childhood. There's a lot of opportunities.
That's the nice thing with the pathways too at the high school level, because students can start as freshmen, so they can take, maybe they take culinary, they take an intro to culinary, then they take culinary 1 and culinary 2. So they've finished a pathway, and maybe that's by the end of their sophomore year. So now they're juniors, and they're like, I don't really think, cooking was nice, and I learned a lot. I think you said something about soup day. Was it soup day at the beginning of today? I was thinking our culinary students could make you soup. But so maybe they decide that's not so much their interest. Well, they have 2 more years.
And I don't know
they
if
can complete a whole different pathway in 2 more years.
Exactly.
And I don't know if it's still a fact, but when I know my daughter was in school, if you took culinary 1 and culinary 2, you actually got 1 math credit for it. Is that still a thing?
I don't think there's a math credit anymore for that. I don't even want to say that. There may be a math credit for that. It used to be a 2-credit pathway, and now it's a 3-credit pathway. So I don't know how they have retooled. Those come directly from the state.
But
what gets to be a math
great
credit.
Opportunities.
But there are some, like our Microsoft Excel class, for example, that students take does count as a math credit. So there are some. It could still be culinary.
I would have been so glad to have that as a math credit.
Yes.
I was still taking typing classes.
Yeah, I was taking typing in high school. Yeah,
they didn't have Excel when I was in high school.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Typing is my story, though, that I need to tell.
Okay.
Really quickly. So I was in high school. It was my senior year. I already knew I was going to be an English major, and I already knew I was going to NC State. So I had been accepted. I was good to go. And I thought, I think I'm going to need to know how to type. So I signed up on my own during registration for typing, which was a business class in high school. So I'm sitting in that class. It is the 3rd day of class. And the counselor, the college counselor, because at that point there was a vocational counselor and a college counselor. The college counselor came in, told me to get my things that I would not be returning to that business class.
Are you serious?
In front of the whole class. So I grab my things feeling in trouble at this point. I leave the class, go to her office. I sit down in her office, and she says, I am shocked. And then she looked at me, she said, college-bound students do not take business classes.
Ooh, have things changed?
And I tell that story just to say this is a different world, and
Yes.
we're
It really is.
so glad about that, because do you know where I ended up my freshman year at NC State? At Wake Tech in a typing class.
Yeah. I believe it. Same for me. I took a typing class in high school, and it turned out to be one of the most beneficial in
Right?
my career that I ever took. Just because I don't have to think about typing
Yes.
anymore, and I'm so
Exactly.
glad. It was one of the best teachers I had too. But
Yes.
But yeah, and I didn't even think of it as a vocational class
Right.
or a business class. It was just
Right.
like.
But
that
I'm
was
sure
one of
it
the-
was.
one
It
of the
had-
electives that was offered.
Yes.
I think it was
Yeah.
required
Yes.
at my high school.
Was it?
I think you had to have it to
okay.
graduate.
It should be required.
It should
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
I was lousy at it, by the way. I was not good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It should be.
Yeah, I'm at the age where it was right at the cutover, right, where we
Right.
had the early apples,
Mine
but we
too.
also were learning to type on electric typewriters. So, but anyway,
Mine too.
that's
Cool stuff.
It really
That's how
reflects.
far we've come.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it really does reflect the change,
Yeah.
because as we love to say in career and technical education, college is not the end goal.
Mm-hmm.
Your career is your end goal. How you get there is how you get there.
Right.
So whether that is coming
Exactly.
to Craven and taking welding courses and getting a certificate and finishing with that certificate and going straight into a welding job, probably making more than I make, or whether that's absolutely you need to be at a 4-year university.
Yep.
So let's get you there, but getting the goal right first is what career and technical education is all about.
yeah. So let me ask you this, because I know we're getting toward the end of our time. Let's say we've got a parent who's watching this. They've got a
Yes.
kid going into the 9th grade
Okay.
next year. I am one of those parents.
Oh,
right?
excellent.
So what-
Congratulations on
Thank-
making it to high school.
Yeah, thank you so much. But so how do I know what's available to my kid? How do I get involved? How do I help
Sure.
guide them and make sure that they're making decisions, or let them make their own decisions? Or
Right. Sometimes that works.
yeah,
My children are grown now. I'm glad I don't have to think about all
Right,
those things
right.
anymore. So hopefully your 8th grade student was able to go to the CTE Expo, because it was a great place to start to see what's out there. Students were all given a course guide that day that has all of the career and technical education courses that are available at all of the high schools. So that is in, you can ask them, did you get this book? Because they're not the
I
best
don't-
at bringing
I
it
don't
home.
think it
Probably
made it
haven't
home.
seen the book.
Don't think it made it
Yes.
home.
Stuck in the backpack.
It's also online.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
also
great.
online,
Great.
and their counselors have the information.
Okay,
but
great.
so they will be working with 8th grade counselors, but also high school counselors come to the school, to the middle schools, and they do registration with students. Our counselors are all we're a team. We're a team of getting students registered in the things that they're interested in. They probably have taken a major clarity career interest survey while they have been in middle school, so they have some idea of what they're interested in
Okay.
when they get to high school. So they will then go into those courses. We have career development coordinators at each of our traditional high schools, who and will also work with the early colleges as needed, but they have a lot of their own wonderful people that are at early college. But they will work with their career development coordinators. So if you have a student who knows that they're interested, especially in something, I really want to try this out in high school. So they can talk to their career development coordinators, and they will know who those are. The CDCs go to classrooms. They talk to students and build relationships with students.
Yeah.
They are really the CTE experts on their campuses.
Yeah.
So they work in conjunction with the counselors. The counselors will send students to the career development coordinator if there's a question or a concern, or if a student just says, hey, I think I'd like to go get a job in this and try it out. I think I'd like to have an internship in this. Then the CDCs will connect them with that. So, but there's information on the Craven County Schools website. We have a brand new website.
Yes, I saw
very
it, yeah.
recently updated. So if any link or anything doesn't work, just let us know and we will fix it. Some of that is still in progress, but all of the courses that are available, the course catalogs are there, and registration is happening really soon.
Yeah. I know,
exciting.
and that's what I was about to add at the end there. Well, two things I want to know. Number
Yes.
one is, yes, I saw the new website. Looks great.
Excellent.
For anybody who might be looking for something and getting frustrated, they should know that it's a new website. It
Absolutely.
takes Google a couple of weeks to index a new website. So when you're going to search for things, you find a dead page, just know that you should just go to the website and search for it there, because those links aren't going to work for a
Yes.
while, right?
Yes.
But also with today being Leap Day, we got an extra day in the month, which is CTE Month.
Yes.
Right, and so that's why, of
Excuse
course,
me.
one of the reasons why we have you on the show today.
You save the best for last.
That's exactly
Save
right.
the best
we
for last.
I would
added a
appreciate it.
day to the month just so that we could get
Excellent.
you there.
That's right.
Excellent.
But But one of the reasons I thought of this being CTE month is I guess this is the time of year when students are making those decisions,
It
right?
is.
It probably is by design that CTE month is February.
Probably
so. That when you're
so.
thinking about, because now I'm guessing a lot of the high schoolers have already decided what classes they want to take next
They
year.
have
getting
decided. They
closed,
haven't registered
right?
yet,
Yeah.
but they have made some decisions.
So
They're
getting
pretty
them
sure
in their
which way
slots
they're
so
going.
that you can decide what's left for the 8th graders as they're moving up.
Okay, so we prioritize the 8th graders. It's
Oh,
not
do you?
just the slots, yes,
Yeah.
that are left. But yes, and there are some classes that freshmen typically will take a little bit more so than some of the other classes, because some of our classes, there are no restrictions on any class in terms of who can take it, but we do a lot of third-party credentialing, and there are age restrictions
I see. Yeah.
on
Okay.
some of those.
Okay.
So the only real restrictions on the courses are age restrictions, but there's some things they can't take. Like they can't come in and take EMT
Yes.
as
right.
a freshman because they
Makes
can't
sense.
test. So for EMT, they have to be 17 for that.
So Ricky, anything great news, fun stuff happening? Always moving and grooving over in career programs.
A lot going on.
Share some good stuff with us.
Well, we're expanding our summer classes this semester.
Oh, good.
We've got probably about, as you know, we've been trying to add more summer classes. This summer we've got I'd say probably about 10 instructors will be teaching summer school. So
Oh,
we'll be
nice.
offering a lot of classes, everything from electronics and engineering, machining, automotive, welding, cybersecurity for this summer. So a lot of really cool stuff going on. We're excited about that.
And CCP students can take those courses.
Yes.
And they do.
Yes,
and they do. They do. Yeah, they really do. So, and we try to make sure they're aware of what we do for the summer. So a lot of them are really jumping on board for that, and we're excited about that.
That's
really
fantastic.
Are. Yeah. Skills USA is coming up. That's always big at Craven. We've got about 60 plus students that will be participating state level this semester. This actually next month.
Soon.
Yeah, soon, right here. And also we've got some high school competition for Skills USA. Will be at Pitt Community College next Friday, so
wow.
we're excited about that.
Okay.
Well, I'm
really
looking
cool
forward
stuff.
to
Cool.
hearing some results
Cool
from that
stuff,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Last year was fantastic.
Yeah,
You
last
won
year was
the
good.
medal,
last year was a
so-
great year.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good stuff.
So that's really
appreciate,
exciting.
and we want to appreciate the opportunity to get to come and tell folks what we do. Thanks.
Of
for
course,
having
yes.
us.
Thank you
for
Thanks
having
a lot,
us.
yeah.
It's
Thanks
always
for
great to
coming
have
out on this pretty
fun
morning.
stuff to talk about. Too.
Yeah.
Good, a lot of good stuff.
Absolutely.
great.
And one thing I do want to applaud to Craven County Schools that we're very fortunate in the collaboration we have. We say we have a scheduled meeting monthly, but we talk a whole lot more than monthly. Trust
Sure.
me, and I think that's a big reason of the way we've been able to grow, because I see what goes on at some other counties, and they don't have the collaboration we do, and I appreciate what you do, because just communication, man. Well, how can we help? That's what we're
Right.
both in it for.
Right.
Yeah, good stuff.
Well, I'm just grateful you spent some time with us and shared the opportunities for our students, because that just makes a stronger community anyway.
That's right.
In the long
That's
run.
right.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
All right. Very good. Well, thanks so much for being on the show.
You're welcome.
Now it's time for us to talk about some community events.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, so the Craven Community College Panthers baseball team has a home game March 2nd at 1 p.m. and March 3rd at 11:30 a.m. at Creekside Park. Come on out to the ball field and support our players as they go against Wake Forest.
Now, Ricky, you're a ref. Do you get to ref any of these games?
I used to way back when. I have in the past, but not lately.
Not lately.
Yes, I don't need to be doing Craven games.
Oh,
I might have looked really
little
good.
conflict of
Yeah.
interest.
Let me
Sorry.
take my Craven sweatshirt off for a little bit.
It'd be an umpire.
Umpire. Oh, there you go. We also have the fife and drum. Excuse me. I got a frog in my throat. The fife and drum lecture concert is going to be March 3rd at 3 p.m. at the Coleman Performance Hall. Please join the Tryon Palace for their fife and drum illustrated lecture concert. The insightful lecture will share the story of the musical backdrop to the American Revolution. The lecture is free to the public. That's a pretty shot. That was at
That's
Christmas
beautiful.
time.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah,
candlelight
it's like
tour.
candlelight. Distinctly Bronze East 2024 and Crescendo Closing Concert, March 3rd, 4 p.m. at Riverfront Convention Center.
Did you notice how you crescendoed into that?
That's what I do. I'm a natural talent,
Yes.
Megan. I don't know what to tell you. Come hear dozens on the finest handbell musicians perform in New Bern. You will hear classical and contemporary works led by noted conductor Emily Lee. The concert also features Crescendo for Immediate to Advanced Ringers under the direction of David Harris. Tickets are $5 at the door.
I'm so impressed. Young Professionals March Social, the March 7th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Bury the Hatchet. Join Young Professional Group, a subgroup of the Chamber of Commerce of professionals that are 45 and younger. Oh, can't go.
Wah, wah. Go over there and talk about my electric typewriter.
No, I had the one with the ribbon. What are you talking about? And they're all going to meet over at Bury the Hatchet and throw some axes around and play arcade games, and they're going to network. This event is open to members and non-members. Again, March 7th from 5:30 to 7:30.
Yeah, I can't do it. My shoulder hurts. I can't throw an axe.
My arthritis has acted up. Sorry, go ahead. Your turn.
Art Walk, March 8th from 5 to 8 p.m. in downtown New Bern. Art Walk is a free self-guided walk to over 30 stops in the downtown New Bern area to visit stores and galleries and to see everything New Bern has to offer.
We're going to march into the garden lecture. We're just a lot of March stuff, right?
Hey,
March
well,
right
it is
in.
the month.
Month of March. Well, it is tomorrow. March 9th at 10:30 a.m. at the Coleman Performance Hall. Join Tryon Palace for their March Garden Lecture that dives into the world of horticulture. With these are a few of our favorite things: a spring plant sale sneak peek presented by the members of Tryon Palace Garden staff. The lecture is open to the public and is a suggested donation of $5.
Winter Feast, Spring Edition, March 9th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Tryon Palace. Look at them oysters, boy. The beloved annual event Winter Feast is back with an oyster roast, pig picking, and live music at Tryon Palace. Tickets are available at tryonpalace.org.
Yes. Ricky, are you an oyster fan?
I am.
Are you?
I am. Yes, I am.
I
Good-
take you for a
good-
pig picking guy, too.
Good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Winter Feast right up your alley?
Right up my alley.
Right up
Have you
your
been
alley.
before?
I have.
Yeah, have you?
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm not an oyster person, are you?
I like them if they're, my preferred way to have them is fried and then steamed, but never raw. Yeah.
Not
I
wrong.
think they're best
No,
left
not
in
wrong.
the ocean.
Yeah.
Being
Or
there-
wherever it is they live.
Yes, those little filters. Let them have their stuff. I've done
let
one.
them have it.
I did one, and I'm done. Never have to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, never again.
Okay.
So thank you again for both of you for being here. We again appreciate the partnership that we get with with Craven Board and School Board, and so in our continued growth with career programs and getting our young people careers and getting them on the right path.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes. So guess what? We're going to come back next week, episode 85.
It's
We're
a big
just
number.
moving up.
We are changing the world.
We are. So I actually,
We've got a legacy here of 85 episodes.
but that's just in this studio.
That's right.
That's not the other one. So we're like way
We're on
up
like
there.
our fourth season right now.
Fourth season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know? Yes.
I know.
Because we started in the spring or summer of 20.
Yeah, I remember I announced it on MySpace. It was
It was a long
yes,
time ago.
it was the summer of 20.
20. Yes, it was. It was very good.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff. All right, we're going to come back here. We're going to do this again.
1920.
1920. We're going to come back here and do this again next week
Yes,
at March
let's do it.
7th. And we're going to have Colonial Capital Humane Society joining us next week to talk about some exciting updates and show us some furry friends looking for homes. I hope they bring them. Remember last
Yeah, are
time
they
we had
bringing
kittens
some?
and puppies? Do you remember
Zanetta
that?
shrugs. Are we going to see cats and dogs next week? Okay.
She says
we're
she
hoping.
hopes so.
Okay. Let's not announce it because we probably need permission or something.
We didn't ask permission last time, and
That's
we did.
true. Yeah. No,
So-
it's fine.
Yeah. So
That's
anyway,
good.
come back again if you haven't commented. We want to know how you like your toast, and if you're if you're a Leapling, we'd like happy birthday.
Yes.
And if there's anything else great going on, like us, share us, follow us,
Yep, let us know.
subscribe. So if
And
you
as
haven't-
always, if you want to be a Craven student, come on down, walk into Barker and hold up your hands and say, help
me.
And somebody will do so. B term starts next week.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's too soon for you, of course, we've got summer classes, as Ricky
do.
mentioned. And then, of course, fall will be waiting for you, too.
yeah, and get those CCP applications in so you can do CTE with
Exactly.
us.
Yep.
Awesome.
Very good.
All right. Guess what? It's a
What?
wrap. So tomorrow, tomorrow, I'm already in for Friday.
That's
So
okay. Yeah.
next week, we will see you. In the meantime, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a wonderful Thursday. Take care.
Bye, everybody.